the alley-oops at Kezar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show. Time to talk about Ty Davis Price, or TDP. And boy, is this running back room interesting, and Ty Davis Price is a big part of it. But I'm here to tell you, Ty Davis Price is not a bust. That's right, TDP is not a bust. I'm not ready to put him in that Trey Sermon category. I know there's a lot of parallels because he was drafted in the third round. And the 49ers have drafted running backs back-to-back years in the third round until recently in 2023. But Ty Davis Price is different from Trey Sermon. They are entirely different, in fact. The way they run, the way they go about the running back position and fitting into Kyle Shanahan's system are definitely different. The similarities rely more in size. I think that when you look at their size and measurables, it definitely measures up a little bit better. But Ty Davis Price is an explosive running back. I got to see him during training camp, and then we watched him during the preseason. He even had a little bit of a regular season stint. But in training camp, he was impressive. He has to learn, of course, there's lots of things you have to do when you're playing in the Kyle Shanahan system. Things you did well in college don't always translate. You have to learn about angles and running lanes and all of that, plus have the vision to be able to see the hole and get north and south. That's one of the things that's very pivotal within playing within Kyle Shanahan's system. Is Bobby Turner and Anthony Lynn are going to preach this until their lips fall off, is that you must get north and south as soon as you find the hole and you see it. And that's one of the things that everyone really loves about Jordan Mason. As soon as Mason sees a hole, he gets north and south, and he does a great job. Elijah Mitchell is the epitome of this and why he's a natural fit for Kyle Shanahan's offense. Think less about running the outside zone and just more about finding the natural lane within the zone running scheme to be able to cut and go. There's going to be something that opens up. You just don't know where exactly it's going to be. You have to find that spot, read the blocks, and then make that cut. Your holes are not always going to be very big either. You have to have great vision to locate them. And that's one of the reasons I'm telling you Ty Davis Price isn't a bust, because he has that vision. He has the way about him to be able to get comfortable in the middle of the field, wait, be patient, see that hole, and then explode through it. Now, did we get to see that at a high demand in his first year in San Francisco? No. And in fact, he missed an opportunity. There were injuries to Elijah Mitchell early on in the season, and Ty Davis Price went in, and he didn't really produce at the level anyone wanted him to in his first action in the NFL. But then he also got hurt, and that definitely put his season a little bit at hold. And when that happened, other players have an opportunity, and Jordan Mason sees that opportunity. Also, when you're on the back end of a roster, you have to make sure you can play special teams, and Jordan Mason was out playing TDP and special teams. But fending off oncomers is a little bit different. A lot of people are talking about the young guys that are going to potentially take his spot, undrafted free agents, and they're pretty good. But Ty Davis Price has a lot of things to like as far as fitting in the 49ers scheme. Number one, we talked about getting north and south. Number two, that vision and feel to be able to run inside, but also take it outside if needed, to feel the zone and then go and explode and accelerate where you need to go. Also, he's proficient in catching the football in the backfield. Not elite. He's definitely not on the level of Christian McCaffrey or Elijah Mitchell, but I would say he's got enough skills to be able to do it consistently. He's also big and physical and willing to run you over. Deebo Samuel said in an interview during the offseason that he's most excited to see what Ty Davis Price does this year. That's glowing praise for a player that wasn't really on the field during games. So that means they're seeing something in practice. And I think they are still excited about Ty Davis Price and his abilities and what he can do for this football team. I think he's going to have a tough uphill climb to be able to be one of the guys that gets carries for this football team. 49ers normally carry 3 running backs on their game day roster. So out of those 48 players, 3 are normally running backs. They could, of course, if Ty Davis Price was better at playing special teams, carry 4 in a game. That would not be unheard of, even with Kyle Juszczyk being the 5th one. But the odds of him being able to take over Jordan Mason's spot are not the easiest. But that doesn't make him a bust. I think he's going to be available and ready in case something happens to Elijah Mitchell. I think he definitely fits in what Elijah Mitchell does. Is he at that level? Not yet, for sure. Does he have the capabilities to be? Yes. He's not as fast as Elijah Mitchell, but he's not slow either. He runs a 4.48, and when you're running at 215 pounds, you definitely have the ability to break tackles, and that he can do. I think what's exciting about Ty Davis Price is the fact that I believe he's just untapped. He did not get a full opportunity in year 1. It's kind of like Trey Sermon, except it's not. Trey Sermon was a player the 49ers were trying to make fit their system. He was a different style of runner at Ohio State and Oklahoma. He wasn't a one cut and go guy. He wasn't a north and south runner. But that's exactly who Ty Davis Price was. So I think when they were going into draft, they understood what worked within their system. They tried to make it work with Trey Sermon, and it didn't. After that, they said, let's go back to what works for us. Elijah Mitchell the year before was a huge success. Part of the reason being he was a north and south runner. He put his foot in the ground and he gets vertical in a hurry. And that's what Ty Davis Price does. Those two are very similar. Having a little bit of variation between running backs is nice. There's no matching what Christian McCaffrey adds to your offense, so you just leave that one alone. But being able to have some of those bruising carries later on in the game is important. Jordan Mason needs to continue to improve his game, and so does Ty Davis Price. I think there's going to be a real competition there to see who's going to be that third running back. I think Jordan Mason has showed enough to have the leg up, that's for sure. But I don't think Ty Davis Price is that far behind. And I definitely do believe that Ty Davis Price is for sure ahead of the undrafted free agents that are coming his way. I think Kalen LeBurn is pretty good. I think he's got a lot of ability. I made a video about him that just came out a couple days ago. Go check that out. I'm going to be making a video talking about Ronald and Watt as well. I think this running back room is always interesting, and Kyle Shanahan always gives undrafted free agents the opportunity. I think dealing with TDP is a little bit different than dealing with Trey Sermon. When you saw what Trey Sermon's skills were, and then you matched him against Ty Davis Price and Jordan Mason, they did the things he was supposed to do a little bit better than he did. When you start matching up the other players to Ty Davis Price, he does it at a higher level. I don't think we've really got to see or scratch the surface of what Ty Davis Price can be within the 49ers organization and their roster. I think he can make an impact. I think he can finish around the goal line. I think he can get those extra yards, but I think he's more than that. I think he's a guy you could turn to if something happened to Elijah Mitchell, and you could count on him to get those 10 carries in the third and fourth quarter and get 4 to 5 yards a carry. I think he can catch the ball in the backfield and make a play with the ball in his hand after the catch. I think all those things are capable. I think he's one of the top 4 running backs on this roster. I think Ty Davis Price is somebody the 49ers are going to count on this year. And with the fact of him playing an entire year under Anthony Lynn, he's going to be better at protections. He's going to be more capable of playing on third down. Now, opportunities are few and far between in San Francisco when you're a running back, because Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell are going to man most of the carries. You have to sit back. You have to keep working on your craft. You have to get better. And whenever you get an opportunity, you have to make an impact. Jordan Mason knows all about that. Part of the reason he was able to get extra carries last season was because of the impact that he made. The long run against Seattle, finishing and closing the door a couple other times in games. Those are things you have to do. So when the opportunity comes and knocks on Ty Davis Price's door, he has to be able to answer with a big-time play. Whether that's in practice or preseason, or if he gets an opportunity in a regular season game, go out and seize it. You have the ability. You run a 4.4, you're 215 pounds, you run physical, you have great vision, and you're north and south guy. You're a fit for Kyle Shanahan's system. Now you just have to go and prove it. And I don't think he's a bust. I think it would be a little early to put that designation on him, but that's what you hear, definitely. And of course, we got a sour taste in our mouth for what happened with Trey Sermon. And of course, we've had other running backs that Kyle Shanahan was high on that didn't work out. But Bobby Turner hasn't really missed on too many guys. He's also made the best of a lot of players. Are the undrafted free agents really good and exciting? Yes, they are. And I'm going to go over Ronald Watt's strengths and weaknesses, and he's a very impressive player. But Ty Davis Price is going to be on this roster. Ty Davis Price is going to be one of the top 4 running backs for the San Francisco 49ers. And I think he's going to make an impact this year. He's going to get an opportunity at some point because injuries are inevitable, especially in a running back room, and he's going to be able to make a play. I hope no injuries happen because the 49ers running back room would be absolutely stacked with those 4 guys. Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason, and TDP. They're physical. They're fast. They can make plays out of the backfield, and every single one of them are dangerous to bring the ball to the house at any moment. Going to be a fun training camp to be able to see how he impresses. Early word out of OTAs, he looks good. I think you're going to continue to hear those reports, especially when we get into training camp, because TDP is not a bust. TDP is a player that's going to make an impact on the 49ers. Will he be a starter? Definitely not. Too many good players ahead of him. Will he be a player that can make an impact for the 49ers in 2023 and beyond? Absolutely. He's going to be a solid player for the 49ers. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, share it, comment, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about TDP. Do you think he's a bust? Do you think this year is going to provide us a lot of information about who he is? Or you think, like me, he's going to be able to be a solid 4th running back and maybe even move up into that 3rd spot? Let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Pushing for 4K, getting really close. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Stay safe, and remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.